spending a lot of time on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that like it was like 7 p.m. at night. It was like one day I was on my phone and then I looked at the time. It was like 7:30 at night and it was dark outside and I was like, I've literally done nothing today.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's not one thing today that I can look back and say, oh, like I did that today.
Yeah.
And it was like a whole day disappeared and it was really scary for me. So
I
like
feel
I
like,
decided
you
that
know,
I
you
would
guys
have a
are,
schedule.
yeah.
I decided to have a schedule
Mm-hmm.
that I would go to every day. So like I'd write a song every day. I'd spend time with family.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have like some TV time, and then I'd have like something artistic. Maybe I'd draw or like learn something new and like meditate. And I've been a lot healthier and a lot better for it.
Yeah, I feel like you guys, you know, you're always out on the road and you're always out and about. It must be kind of nice to take like, you know, a couple weeks, maybe a bit, you know, a bit too long. It's been a lot of weeks,
Yeah,
but just like a couple weeks, you know, like chill out, do what you want to do, and spend some time on yourself.
yeah, definitely.
What
Yeah.
what do you miss the most about like not, you know, not being out there, not being in front of people and performing?
Um, I mean, yeah, touring's like our favorite thing to do, so we're missing obviously touring. Hello, by the way, everyone. Hi. I haven't acknowledged everyone watching. Hi, everyone. We miss you
We're
all.
we're going live this weekend for Cameo Cares weekend. So, you know, we have like a ton of live events over the weekend which you guys can all tune into, and this is obviously the best one. So I'm glad that we, you know, got a chance to chat to you, Reece. And what do you think? You guys miss each other? Do you miss the boys?
Yes, I miss the boys very, very much. But to be honest, we've been staying in touch every day,
Mm-hmm.
and we have little. We've been having like Zoom nights. So like where we'll all sit on Zoom and we'll just like chat and have a little bit of a party together.
Yeah.
Which has been
Do you
nice,
guys do
you
like
know.
quiz nights?
Tonight we've got a bit of a night actually. Like we're gonna like see each other and just play some games and stuff. But not a quiz night yet, but we will for sure. We need to do like some kind of pub quiz.
Yeah, they've, you know, I've been doing those with my friends pretty much like every Friday, Saturday, Sunday night because there's like nothing else to do. And
Yeah,
you know, they get kind
nice.
of fun.
Yeah, nice. Um,
Um, and you know what, when you guys are back out and you're gonna be doing touring again, what's like the one thing that you're most looking forward to when you're allowed out?
um, the one thing I'm most looking forward to. I said the first thing that I'm gonna do when all this is over is just like go to the pub with my granddad. I miss my granddad,
Oh, that's so sweet.
um, and I'm looking forward to just being able to just like go down to the pub. Hopefully, football will be back on, and we can just watch football, have a drink. Some normality would be nice.
Mm-hmm. Does he live far away from you?
No, well, normally I'm never here, so
Mm-hmm.
whenever I'm home, I see him as much as I can. But obviously, that's not the case right now. So yeah, I usually see him when I'm home, but I can't. So when all this is over, I'm gonna see him hopefully.
Yeah, I think everyone's gonna be down the pub, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's going to be the first place that everyone goes and needs,
Oh, for
you know,
sure.
needs a big night out. You know,
Yeah.
kind of going back to when you guys are touring and everything, do you, you know, what was that moment for you? Like, you know, throughout your career, taking it back, you know, to when you were 15 and, you know, you auditioned for X Factor, and, you know, what was like the reason that you kind of, you got to that point and you thought, you know what, I'm gonna, you know, take my break and I'm gonna audition for X Factor.
Um. Well, like before going on that, I'd never been one to like watch the show. My mum was like my mum watched it, my little
Yeah, all
sister, but
mums
I
are.
never, yeah, I never really watched it, and I didn't really ever think about going on the show. I was like doing a lot of pub gigs around like my local town, and I just like, yeah, I enjoyed doing that and just like gigging around like Manchester and stuff. And this one time I did a gig on like a decently sized stage in Manchester. It was called Night and Day Cafe. And then like after the show, some guy came up to me and was like, "Oh, do you want to audition for X Factor?" I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." But then yeah, it was kind of just like a little bit of a whirlwind. Honestly, I enjoyed it and I met lots of friends through it. And I think before I went on that show, I was quite shy.
Yeah.
And it kind of forced me to come out of my shell and gave me good experience of like, you know, being just part of that whole world and the craziness that is surrounding it. But
If
I enjoyed it.
if you could like give yourself, one piece of advice on what you would say to yourself before you walked into that room and auditioned in front of Simon and everyone, what do you think you'd say?
um, don't be as nervous. I was so nervous. And just this isn't it. Like, you know, there's more to come after this. So don't think, oh, this is the be and end all. You know, because I didn't know what was gonna happen. You know, I literally went on that show just was like, well, I'll see what happens, and I'll go back to playing my normal pub gigs that I've been playing. But you know, it's been pretty wild since I did that. And obviously, you know, it led me to meet the boys, which is I couldn't be more thankful for that reason. I see it as kind of like a stepping stone to meeting the boys, because without it, you know, the boys wouldn't have seen me and I wouldn't have met them. So very lucky.
I'm such a firm believer, that everything happens for a reason. Like that's something that got you to the point where you are now, which is so cool. Do what was that point for you where you, with the boys and, being now part of New Hope Club and you guys are doing so well, what was that point for you where, you kind of stopped and you thought, oh my God, like, we've really come so far? Was there like a particular point where you like, at a show or, had got like a record on your single or something like that?
Well, I think like we get those moments a lot, because I think, you know, we're still growing and we're still quite new to everything. We only got to do our first world tour last year, and I think just the first time we ever did our own show was a pretty special moment, because we'd been touring a lot, but we'd be doing support slots, which was so much fun. And like, you know, you become friends with everybody else's crew, and you know, you get to see all these amazing venues, but the fans and the people that are there, they aren't there for you. They're there for the main act. And to walk into a venue and it's your venue for that night, and everybody there is working for you and is putting this show together that is going to be like our show. And for every fan to, you know, buy a ticket and come to see our show, which is it's just wild to us, because we love live shows. And like when we were younger, we went to live shows together. Like that's what we love to do. And just that feeling of like getting your ticket through the post, getting on a train, and like getting excited for a show. Like people do that at our shows now, which is just so wild. It's so weird for us to think that, but it's so cool. And I think that every moment that we walk into a venue and it's our show, that's like a moment where I'm like, this is wild. This is like insane.
I think I keep seeing like loads of people in the comments saying that, we're so proud of you and how far you guys have come. And that's like so awesome. Somebody actually had a question similar, and it was Ellie Lambert on Twitter, and she said, what's like the best concert or show that you've been to that's not yours? Like what was, the one moment for you where you were like, oh my God, this is cool, this is what I want to do with, with the show that you've been to?
So I mean, the first show that I ever went to was like, I'm quite a Manchester like boy. I like my indie bands. So the first gig I ever went to was a Cortinas gig. Cortinas are like a band that are pretty big in Manchester. Well, like the biggest band in Manchester. And I went to see them at the Manchester Arena, and like just the play. I just remember it so vividly, like being in that place with people from Manchester who were like kind of like Manchester's kind of like everyone's family. Like everyone
Mhm.
just loves like the same kind of music, and every single person in the arena was like singing the songs, and it just felt so special, just having that hot sense of community inside that building.
Mhm.
I think that was pretty much like from then on I was obsessed with like live shows. Um, and I was in a music school and we put on
Mhm.
a live show every year. Um, and just like yeah, I was just obsessed with live shows. And I went to Leeds Festival too. I
Mhm.
think I loved that very much. I got to see like Green Day,
Yeah.
and that was sick. Just yeah, I mean all live shows that I see, I'm just like
Yeah.
in awe.
What's like going back to Leeds Festival? What's like if you could play at one festival, what would it be?
Um, it's got to be Glastonbury, hasn't it?
Mm.
Surely, it's got to be
Yeah.
Glastonbury.
Such a
Um,
shame it's like postponed this year, as of everything else.
yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, I mean, like Glastonbury is amazing, but I mean, for me, I'd probably say Leeds because it was the first festival I went to,
Yeah.
and it's quite close to home. And Leeds Festival is just so much fun.
Are you a football fan?
Yeah, a big football fan.
What team?
Blackburn Rovers.
All right. That that's okay. I'm a
Why?
United fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so
there's a little
I
bit
was
of a
hoping you weren't
rivalry.
going to say Man City.
There's a little bit of a rivalry there.
Yeah, slight,
You
but
know,
you know.
that's so weird because my football team, Blackburn Rovers, are they're like streaming a live game tonight. They stream a live game every weekend,
Oh,
and
really? That's cool.
tonight is Blackburn Rovers versus Man U. We win, obviously, because I mean,
Yeah, yeah, we'll see.
yeah. oh,
Oh, we'll find out.
oh no, I
That's
know.
all.
This is a past game. This is a
Yeah.
game that's already been.
Oh, I thought you said it was
so
live.
yeah, they like stream it live, so it's like an old
Oh,
game that like plays
oh,
out like live. But I know we win.
all right. Well, I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay, so another question that we had from one of your fans, Maria Elev, I think. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Was if one day you had to change your name, what would you name yourself?
Okay. So if I had to change my name, if I was gonna change my name, I'd make it something like epic.
Yeah.
It'd have to be something like like Thor
Oh,
or
like the movie? Oh,
just like something that was. Can you hear me?
yeah, yeah, actually.
I'm sorry, I cold just then. Something just like powerful, you know. Because if
Hmm.
I was gonna change it, it'd have to be like epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what if you another one we had was from Sean's New Hope. What's the best music advice you've ever been told?
Um. I think advice I always go off is that hard work will never let you down. I
Hmm.
think that I'm living proof of the fact that no matter how small of a town you come from, or where you come from, or what background you have, you can always make something of yourself. You can always follow a dream. You can always do what you want to do if you work hard enough,
Hmm.
um, and you channel it as much as you can. I think that hard work is just like it's not gonna let you down. Yeah, that's and my dad told me that. He makes me work hard every day.
Hmm. And did you, I know like a little bit. I was watching your X Factor interview earlier, and did you said a little bit about your dad. Like being a big inspiration for you for music when when you were growing up. Like aside from your dad, who do you think like if you could pick anyone famous or not famous, who do you think was like your biggest inspiration growing up to follow in the footsteps of?
I had loads. Like I had obviously like loads of bands that I really liked. I was obviously a very big Beatles fan as I'm sure like, any
Yeah,
musician
nice.
is.
Yeah.
But like I loved the Beatles. I loved like Stone Roses and like Oasis, obviously, and just like I just loved like old indie bands like Arctic Monkeys and Cortinas. I just was obsessed with just the music that was coming out of like Manchester, and I think obviously my family are a big inspiration to me as well because they're very hardworking people, and I think that I've channeled that into my music, and I work hard through that.
What what do you think like your if you could kind of go back in time and predict, what your life would be like,
Yeah.
what pre, being a singer and going on X Factor and doing that, what did you think that your life would be like? What do you think you'd be doing?
Well, I knew I wanted to do music. Obviously, when I was doing it in pubs and clubs and stuff, I did know I wanted to do music, and obviously I was part of my music school. So I was always in and around music.
Yeah.
But you know, I didn't know I was gonna do it as a job. So I was like just doing it as a hobby, like most people do.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a certain point that when you have to decide, like, oh, I'm gonna actually do this. I'm gonna leave. So I left school. I literally just threw it all at the wall just to see what stuck. I was literally like I had a decision to make, and I just said I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna see what happens. If it doesn't happen, then hey, McDonald's ain't so bad. I can just get a job there.
I think that's good advice for everyone. Follow your dreams, right?
Why not? You've only got
That's
one
the
shot.
biggest thing. I know, and it's the same with like education and everything else. Like there's tons of situations that are always going to be there, and I think grasping those opportunities while you have them is so important. If you could get a cameo from anyone in the world, who would it be?
Some of the Office cast for sure. I'm a huge Office fan.
Yeah,
I'm a huge
aren't
Office
we all?
fan. Yeah.
We actually have Angela. Angela's signed up today to do cameos just for one day to all go
No
towards
way.
Cameo Cares. So I'll send you the link to that. You might have to get one.
That's so cool.
We're waiting on Steve Carell. We're waiting on Steve Carell.
No
That's the
way.
next one.
If Steve Carell does it. That's insane.
And then another question, so just trying to get through the ones from your fans. So Luke Feet Me, I think. Sorry, I probably am saying all of these wrong. If you could pick any album to be the soundtrack of your life, what would it be? Or we could go with song too if you can't think of album.
I'd probably go like an Arctic Monkeys song, album probably, just because I was like growing up, I was obsessed with their albums, and it's kind of like I was obviously obsessed with Beatles and Oasis and Stone Roses, but they weren't really my era, obviously. So,
yeah.
But Arctic Monkeys, they were bringing out albums when I was young, and I just remember being so excited when they released music and like playing it on the bus to school, and I just remember it so vividly. So I'd probably say like either whatever people say I am, that's why I'm not, or I think Fluorescent Adolescent, I think it's called that.
That's a good one. That's a good soundtrack to someone's life, I think.
Yeah.
It doesn't get better than that. Okay, one of the last ones from your fans is from Nova Beeson. If you had a superpower, what would it be and why?
If I had a superpower, then I would be able to fly, I think, because it'd be so easy, wouldn't it? You'd just be able to go on holiday whenever you like. No,
Going
like,
back and forth from LA. That'd be so
oh,
nice.
yeah, it'd take quite a while, but like, if you could fly really fast, that'd
Hmm.
be a dream.
Well, I don't think, if you have a superpower, I think you can, if you were to wish for a superpower, you can wish for whatever you want. You could wish to go, I'm like not very good with speeds, but who like, I don't know,
Yeah,
5,000 miles an hour.
yeah. Well, I think it'd be between that and being invisible, because being invisible could be fun.
Mm,
Because
yeah,
think of the places where you could go if you were invisible, you could just be like chilling in like the Queen's house. You
yeah,
could just, I mean, be a bit creepy, but
yeah.
you could go anywhere. It'd be sick.
Yeah, but you also couldn't really like, you couldn't hang out with them. You just have to watch them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why it'd be a little bit creepy. Um, yeah,
It'd be cool to like, go and have tea with the Queen.
yeah,
But I'm not
yeah.
sure. I'm not sure I'd want to watch her having tea. But
No.
that's a good one. I think I'd
Or you
probably
could
go with.
haunt people. You could
Mm,
haunt like your ex,
yeah, yeah,
spook them out.
yeah. I'm sure I'd love to do that. Okay, and then we have a couple of questions like from Blake and George. So they both gave one question each. One, actually, I really want to hear the story behind. So Blake asked, "What show did your appendix break it at?"
Oh my goodness.
And I
Oh,
did not know this story, so this is like
nice one, Blake, for
great
bringing
story.
up like a horrible memory. um, no, so basically, it was the so we did these shows in in the UK,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like kind of our first ever tour. Like we put on these shows for like free. Just I think they were just to be like we called them fan fests, where
Yeah.
um fans came along for free, and it was just like it was just this thing that we was doing in the UK. The first night was in London,
Mm-hmm.
and I was not feeling well leading up to the show. I was feeling like really groggy and not
Yeah.
great. But the night of the show, I was like, I just drank some Lemsip. Do you know Lemsip?
Yeah.
Because I
That's like
thought I had a
honestly, I live by Lemsip. The
yeah.
Americans don't have Lemsip. And
No, they have like they have a different one.
emergency, is it like
Yeah,
it's
emergency. Yeah,
emergency? But
yeah,
like
it's not.
when I moved to the States for a while, that's like one of the one things that I packed was just a bunch of Lemsip.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like giving it to
Literally.
our employees. Sorry, go ahead.
No, so I just drank some Lemsip, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit better. And then I went on the show, and then like towards the end of the show, I was feeling horrid. And we went back to the hotel, and the boys were like, okay, we're all going out like to celebrate the first show. And I was like, I'm gonna stay in. I feel awful. Like by this point, my temp like I was hot to touch. Like
Yeah.
I was literally like really hot. And then so I went to sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night and was just like throwing up. I couldn't stop
Oh
throwing up.
God.
And I had it was horrific. It was horrific. I was just so ill. And I said, right, I'm gonna go to the hospital. George was like, do you want me to come with you? And I was like, no, I'm fine. I'll go on my own. I got there, and like I went to the front desk, and she was like, oh my goodness, like I was like green almost. Like I just looked like a horrible color.
All the signs of an appendicitis.
Yeah. Mm. So they like rushed me in, whatever, and like the doctor was just like took one look at me and pressed like right in one spot my abdomen, and like the sharpest pain ever hit me, and like he was like, okay, you've got appendicitis, and then so they removed my appendix like that morning, and I had a burst appendix. It had
That's awful.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Were you out for like the rest of your fan fests?
I was out for the rest of the fan fests, but I was back on the next tour. I made it for the next tour, which was it wasn't too bad, but it was scary.
God, Blake, that's an awful question.
I know. But yeah, they said like I was really lucky because if I didn't detect it, I mean, I don't know how I could not have detected it, but if I didn't go into the hospital, I would have been in serious like danger.
That's awful. I've like never had an appendicitis, but after your story, I really hope that that never happens to me. But at least you'll never get it again.
I know,
guess
exactly.
the silver lining.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, last question, and we ask this for everyone who starts at Cameo as like a new employee. We ask them what is their death row meal. So if you were to put, it's kind of morbid, but if you were to be put on death row tomorrow, right? What is the last meal you can have? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner from wherever you want. Starter, main course, dessert, wherever you want. What would your last meal on earth be?
Okay, so starter.
Mm-hmm.
Starter, I would have like fried brie, with like the bread that you can like dip in. I love that so much. And then for main, oh, this is difficult. I'd probably go. Let me think. No, if it was my death row, I'd have my mum's Sunday roast. Like my mum's Sunday roast.
That's
I'd
a
have
good
that.
choice.
And then my dessert.
There's nothing more comforting either than like a Sunday roast. I'm sure you're not feeling good if you're about to be on death row.
Yeah.
And the Sunday roast probably does the trick.
Yeah. And then for my dessert, I'd probably have carrot cake.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that. I think mine's like pretty simple. I go with camembert. I think for the starter, but I'm pretty with you on the rest of the meal.
Nice.
I like that. We actually missed out George's question by accident, so
I saw that.
We're gonna
Everyone's going absolutely crazy in the comments.
I know, I just saw it in the comments. Sorry, George, we haven't forgot you. His one is, when are George and Blake's birthdays?
Oh, I knew he'd ask that. I knew he'd ask that. Oh.
This is a very good test of your friendship.
Okay, guys, help me out, please.
You can't look at comments.
Okay, I won't look. I honestly... Oh my goodness. So, I know George's is in March.
Okay.
I think. Blake's
Any idea on the date? Like, March is a long month.
I think it's March, like 7th.
Wrong.
Oh. Is it March?
You get one. You get two tries.
Is it March? Though.
It's March, yeah.
Okay. Blake's is October.
Yeah.
Come
now
on.
You just got to guess the dates. You got one more try for each of them.
Is there a 9 in Blake's?
No.
Oh, okay. Just testing you.
But there might be one in the other.
Oh, George's is October 2nd.
No. Yeah. You're right. No, Blake's is October 2nd.
Oh, George's.
Yeah.
Blake's is October 2nd. For sure.
Okay, and what about George's?
George's is March. I know it's March. So if Blake's is October 2nd, George's has got to be. Oh, is George's in the 20? 20th. No. Oh, goodness sake.
Listen, we'll just go through every day of the month.
So it's got to be in the teens.
It's got a 9 in it. I'll give you a clue.
Oh, is it 19?
No.
Oh, 29.
The first one.
Is it the 9th?
The 9th.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. We got it in the end. That's
one
my
goodness.
You have to learn in quarantine is George and Blake's birthdays. By the time quarantine's over, that's what you got to know.
I'm not good with birthdays.
Yeah. When's yours?
13th of August.
We got that one.
I know that. It's not that I'm a bad friend. It's just that